Hey guys, how's it going? It's Douglas here at Drumboy Productions, and this year it seems like the scores start coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming.
And they don't stop coming 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 and they don't stop.
Alright guys, and we have yet again another video on a massive lot of some really rare Scream goodies, so let's get right into it. What do I want to show first? Let's go with this. So guys, here we have a Ghostface wall and door plaque. A lot of you have seen these, a lot of you probably know about these. You've probably even seen one of these on the channel before. Well, yet again, whenever I had to sell off my collection, this was one of the things that did not make it. As far as me keeping it, I did keep a majority of like my Ghostface merchandise and stuff like that, just because I love that stuff so much. However, this is one of the cooler pieces, and of course someone ended up wanting it, and I did have to sell it. And recently, my friend Don, at Don84 on Instagram, hooked me up with one of these because he found a box full of these. I think 5, 6, maybe even more of these pretty much brand new old stock. And of course, whenever I saw Don make that original post, I was like, hey man, let me get one of those. I used to have one. I'm trying to rebuild my collection. Let me get one of those. And he told me, well, I'll tell you what, I won't sell them, but I will trade them. And at the time, that was a bit difficult because I really didn't have anything Ghostface-wise that I had duplicates of that I could trade. But over time, something did pop up. So Don did hold on to one of these knowing that I needed one for the collection, and everything on this is brand new. The switch on the back, the off and on switch, still has the original plastic in it, so it's never even been used for demo purposes or anything. It's pretty nice. And the last one I had, while it did have the box and was pretty much brand new, it was not zip tied in still, so maybe it had been opened prior. I know that it did have the demo working on it, and this one has never had the piece removed for you to try out the demo. But yeah, Don ended up trading me this for one of my more recent Ghostface paintings. I've been practicing a lot of painting recently, just taking a small break from masks, just a healthy break, and I painted a nice little scene of 2 Ghostface kids trick-or-treating, and I've been selling prints of those for charity. And Don said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and send you one of these, send me a print, and then put the proceeds from that print to charity, and we'll call it even. So for me, it's a great deal. He got an amazing piece of artwork that he's happy with. Charity will get a little bit of money, and overall just a win-win for everybody. So I'm happy to add this to my collection yet again, so thank you, Don. Alright, next up, let's go for a costume. So here we have another Scream Stalker costume. This one, I guess, is a little bit different than some of the other ones I have. I've owned quite a few of these. I think at this point, 6 or 7 costumes total. And I currently still own 4 of those. Well, out of the 2 that I did let go, one had an HN stamp mask in it, and the other one was just a standard Fun World Div stamped Stalker mask. But yeah, I'll give you guys a bit closer look at this. So this one is pretty much brand new. As far as I know, the costume's never been worn or anything. It has been opened. The costume bag is in pretty good shape considering its age. Most of these are pretty beat up. And I do mean really beat up. I've seen a lot in some really rough shape. The card looks to be in pretty nice condition, and here on the back is the most interesting part. Kind of hard for you guys to tell, so I might go ahead and take it out of the bag just so you can get a closer look. But what we have in there is a sealed costume mask, which is kind of not something you find very often with these costumes. Usually they've been opened, the costumes have been worn, the mask for sure has been worn, if not stolen out, because I've actually seen a couple of these with no masks, just the costume. But yeah, here we have a sealed, completely sealed, Fun World Div 2nd generation Stalker mask. And what's interesting about this, and I have seen this before, I even do own some costume masks that would have been from the Stalker costumes that have this, but this has a cotton shroud. I know it's pretty impossible for you guys to see, but some of these Stalker masks were released with the poly shroud, some were released with a cotton shroud for some reason, and I don't know why, but it's really awesome. I guess it gives it more of that fantastic feel for real. So yeah, while not another completely amazing piece, this is another great piece to add to the collection, and this will actually fill in the missing spot. I have one spot on the wall above the collection for one more costume to fit, and that's where this will go. And yet again, a huge thank you to the person that I picked this up from, which is my good friend Brandon over at Clergy Collector. Some of you may know Brandon, most of you who are watching probably don't, because Brandon is more related to the ghost side of things. He was one of the head admins of the group Ghost Nola, and now runs his own page called Clergy Collector, where he collects ghost merchandise, and he makes some pretty awesome posts. If you care about ghosts or their merchandise, absolutely go check him out, go give him a follow. Alright, next up, what do we want to do? Do we want to do mask? Do we want to do something different? Well, we just did a little something different, so let's do a mask again. Alright guys, and here's something I'm really excited to add to the collection again as well. So here we have a Devilface, and it is tagged. These are very nice. For most of you who don't know, these were produced in, what, 2017, 2018. This is a 2017 copy, so it's one of the earlier ones. And yeah, Devilface was of course one of the new variants that was released that year that also had, what, the Devilface, the Skelly Face, and then I think we got those new metallics at that time period as well. And when Devilface first came out, a lot of people really didn't care for it, I think myself included. I didn't hate the design, I was just kind of like, it's kind of lazy. Like, you just painted it red and threw some horns on there. But, to be fair, a red Ghostface is something most fans love and most fans have wanted to see. And of course we have seen that with red metallics, but we haven't really seen another red Ghostface since. And this is a nice, shiny red Ghostface, of course with the devil horns, also known as Devilface. So this technically is not Ghostface. This is its own thing, it's Devilface. And what's interesting, my friend Tim Wagstaff pointed this out recently, if you look on the back of the tag here, if it'll come into focus, it says inspired by Ghostface. So that's pretty interesting. Now for any of you new fans or people who just pay attention to everything that happens with Scream and the Ghostface character, most of you would also recognize this from Dead by Daylight. Now that's one of the things that made this mask more interesting to me. When it first got released, I wasn't super stoked about it. I really liked the version that they premiered with the red bib or the red shroud. However, of course, we ended up with the black shroud. I don't know, maybe we'll see a red shroud in the future, but I guess probably unlikely. Would be really cool though. But since then, this character has seen a new life in the game Dead by Daylight. Most of you probably watch it or you play it or you've heard about it, but the Dead by Daylight Devilface character is pretty freaking awesome. It's one of my favorite costumes. I have yet to play the game, but just as far as looks and watching other people play, Devilface is really freaking cool. The whole outfit, I think it works really well. And Devilface is another one of those masks I didn't expect to really become a popular or rare mask. But yet again, just in the short 3 years that it's been out, they're now pretty sought after, pretty coveted items. So I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Logan Cheney, who actually found this, and not only did he pick me up one of these bad boys, but he picked me up 2 of them. So at the moment, I have no intentions of selling the extra, just because Devilface is awesome, it's pretty rare, and I think I'm probably going to hold on to this one. If anything, it might become Jennifer's copy, because she's been begging me, and I do mean begging me, to let her get one of these since I've gotten them, because it's Devilface. It looks pretty freaking awesome, and she loves the design as much as I do. So I'll probably hold on to this guy, he'll go in my personal collection, and this guy will go in storage for the time being. Alright guys, well it would appear that we are down to the last 2 items, and the last 2 items are pretty special pieces indeed. So, item number 1 is something I had never seen before, and I'm usually not the type to collect this, as I've mentioned before prior. I'm more interested in masks and merchandise and stuff like that. But recently I've taken a bit more interest in some of the physical media releases, and I saw this and had to pick it up. So here we have a VHS copy of Scream. Pretty cool, right? Let's take a closer look. Now what's interesting about this copy versus normal VHS copies is this is a screening and promotional copy. Now I've looked into it because this is so weird. I've seen other screening and promotional copies. I'm sure most of you have seen the USA ones that have the 90 million over the top thing here. Well, this one's a bit different. This one was never for sale. As you can tell, on the back, no barcode. I'll give you guys a closer look so you can really see this stuff and read it. It's really hard to on camera, but I'll read it to you. A delicious blend of fun and fright that's smashingly scary. A chilling whodunit thriller. Drew Barrymore gives a tour de force performance that rivals Janet Leigh's in Psycho. Hilarious and delightfully hip. Clever and scary. And it has the Scream don'ts. Don't answer the door. Don't hide in the closet. Don't just stand there. Don't run. Don't go back in the house. Don't run up the stairs. Don't trip. Don't answer the phone. Don't ask who's there. Don't have sex. Don't drink or do drugs. Don't open the door. Don't try to hide. Don't scream. Don't look back. Don't say, "I'll be right back." So this was pretty rare. I've never seen another one of these. I've looked through the Scream groups, tried to look anywhere I could online to find another one just to find info about it, and I really couldn't. However, a few people did happen to know a little bit about these, and of course if you read on the back, it does say it was distributed exclusively in Canada by Alliance Video. So we know it's a Canadian release, and since this is a screening copy, what this would have been for is this is a copy that would have been sent to a critic in Canada to check the movie, watch it, and review it, I guess give any notes back, or just score it, whatever critics would do. So I don't know necessarily which critic this belonged to or why, but I noticed it on eBay. It was really cheap, really cheap, despite what it was, and I just had to pick it up. Mostly just because you can tell this is a really early copy. The font is a bit different and weird. Some of the stuff on the box is very different from any other VHS copy of Scream I've seen, and if we look on the tape, it's pretty simple. It just says Alliance Universal Home Studios, Scream, demo tape, not for sale or rental, property of MCA and must be returned upon demand. Well, whichever critic got this, I guess, really didn't care about what MGA had to say because they kept it. And I guess they really didn't care that it said not for sale because guess what? They sold it. But yet again, just another weird oddball piece to add to the collection, and it has a cool story behind it, so I'm happy to have it. Alright guys, and here we are at the last piece. This is probably the coolest thing in the entire video. This is something I've never owned before, and I'm kind of still in shock looking at it that I do own this. So let me go ahead and show you guys this piece, and I'll tell you the story behind it. Okay, so here we have a black and red Ghostface style tagged mask. Pretty nice, huh? Pretty cool. But what's that? It's a signed mask. Most of you probably already recognize that signature. What we have here is a tagged, signed Ghostface mask that is signed by Wes Craven. This is really awesome. And yet again, another piece that I did not think I would end up with. It just kind of popped up on eBay late one night. I saw it was a 3-day auction, and they had starting bid $99.99 or make an offer. I made an offer to the seller of $125. Well, I make him the offer, he messages me back, and he says, you know, these go for anywhere between $700-800, one just sold for that. There's no way you're going to get it for that. You're going to have to make me a better offer than that. So I said, okay, happy bidding. I'm not going to argue with you. It's that simple. Like, if you don't want to accept the offer, that's fine. Let's just see what happens. So I place a bid for $100. 1 penny higher than the starting bid. Expecting nothing of it. I didn't expect to win. I figured I would get outbid pretty quickly. Well, I placed that bid, forgot about it. 3 days later, I'm up in the studio working on some masks. My phone is downstairs charging. I decide to come check my phone, and I see a notification that says, you got it. No one else bid. Not a single other person. And this piece is real. This has absolutely been authenticated. The signature's real. The story behind it's pretty awesome as well. And yeah, I completely didn't expect it. It was funny to me at the time. I mostly just laughed about it whenever I saw that I got it because I made an offer higher than what I actually ended up winning it for. I offered him $25 more, and he's like, oh no, I'm not selling it for that. You're going to have to make me a better offer. And I just said, okay, and expected it to go higher. I had no thought that I would actually end up with this piece as cheap as I did, but I guess right place, right time. It's absolutely amazing, and the story behind it is even cooler because he told me that he picked this up from an estate sale, and the previous owners said that they had met Wes at an event, I think he said the late 90s, like 98, 99, somewhere in there, and they had him sign this piece, and he was super nice, etc. And for its age, I would say that it's definitely worth it. Now what's interesting is this is a Ghostface style black and red tag, but because the time period and the exact style mask this would have been the type of mask that would have been used in Scream 3. Mostly for the reshoots, but still, it was a Scream 3 used mask. The first style, black and red Ghostface style tagged masks, so that's pretty freaking interesting. Guys, I really don't even know what to say. This has just been my year. I've been severely lucky. In so many cases, it feels ridiculous. Like, it feels like I'm dreaming. But I am very happy about it. I'm very happy to add this piece to my collection. And yeah, I'm going to see if I can't find a nice way to display it so it won't get dusty. And luckily, Wes signed with what appears to be a metallic marker on the forehead, which is really awesome because standard black or even red Sharpies really bleed out really bad into the vinyl. However, due to the type of marker he used, his signature has held up all these years and will likely continue to. So this is an amazing piece. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and there's nothing left to do but give you guys some close-ups of these pieces, so I love you all, and I'll see you next time.